Gave your heart to the junk man. The only junk man that I would give my heart to was that goddamn James Earl Jones. And Claudine, I know he had taco meat all over his chest. Oh my God, his chest was so meaty. I wouldn't have cared. It was James Earl and the Jones, girl. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, and subscribe, because it is so important to our success here on the YouTube. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee, you, yes, you babies, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's talk about Patti Labelle. Okay. Now, you know I done bring out this good green wig, girl, because I'm finna act a whole fool now. Y'all know I loves me some Labelle. And if I didn't love them before, bitch, I love them more now. I'm gonna tell you why later. What happened was, while we were doing the Luther Vandross video, what happened was a lot of us was in our feelings about Miss Patti Labelle, because we felt like she divulged information to Andy Cohen that she should not have. Okay, so that kind of, you know, triggered me to do some background information on Patti. Always loved Patti, you know, not to the degree that I love Aretha or Shaka, but I'm going to say after researching her, I think I fell in love with Patti, or at least Labelle. Philadelphia, you know how to crank them out, don't you? Hey, I'm going to say this. Philly, y'all produce a lot of superior acts. It's something about that Philly that, I don't know, like how DC creates like GoGo legends. Philly, man, I had no idea that Patti was from Philadelphia. Her birth name was Patricia Louise Holt. Okay, and she was lovingly nicknamed Patty, Pat, or Patsy. Those who were the most closest to her called her Patsy. Her aunt spoke of Patti as a young toddler and called her pretty and very beautiful with beautiful hair. Okay, now on the flip side, Patti Labelle said that she never thought of herself as beautiful. She thought of herself as dark and unattractive, mostly because of her nose. Sisters, let me tell you something. I come from the big nose community, okay? I don't know what happened. You know, maybe I grew into it. Now, from time to time, somebody, you know, go on me about my nostrils being so big, but I really don't, you know, give a fuck. Once she had decided to do plastic surgery, and what she called it, she took half of it off, she felt better about herself. All her insecurities left. Now, that's a blessing, because you got a whole lot of singers out there who would never touch their nose, like Barbra Streisand, because they would be scared that it would change the way that they sound. Once I seen a picture of her mother, Bertha, I said, oh, okay, that's where she got the nose from. But her mother was still a very beautiful woman to me. She had the little mushroom, child. Remember when we used to get our hair mushroomed? Oh, I'm gonna get me a mushroom. I don't care what y'all say about me. Y'all can call me Granny, get your gun, but I'm gonna get me a good mushroom. Okay, now, I don't know how I'm going to do it when I don't put no heat on my head. But she considered her father dark and very handsome, okay? She said that he was a beautiful man that got around, okay? But her mammy was timing up for the nigga, because she said sometimes her mother, Miss Bertha, would go around to whatever hole he was messing with at the time and check a bitch. Okay. Now, she grew up on a block in Philadelphia where everyone felt like family. That sounds like the 70s, baby. It might have been the 60s. When was she born? But it don't matter, okay? Because it's nothing like growing up on a block where everybody's snitching on each other. You know, where, you know, Miss Pearly would be like, Patty, I seen your ass around the corner kissing that boy. You know I'm gonna tell your mother. That's a good block. Now Miss Pearlie is a snitching bitch, but that's a good block. The dude Kenny Gamble from Gamble and Huff, he did not live on her block, but his best friend did. And that's how they started a childhood friendship that grew over the years. Now, getting back to her parents, Patti Labelle describes her father as a womanizer, okay? He was a beautiful man, and he wanted to touch every woman that he saw, okay? Every beautiful woman that he saw. I'm like, damn, Patti, was your father a Libra? Because, you know, that's how we be. If it's beautiful, we want to touch it, okay? But anyway, Patti Labelle's mother eventually decided that she wanted to leave Mr. Handsome Pappy, okay? And she moved on with her life. Now, Patti initially was sad because she felt like her mother would not find love again. She did, but it was a conflict for Patti. Patti says at the age of 12 years old, her mother's new beau began fondling her in the basement of the house at 12. Okay, she said, like many people who have been touched as children, she said she felt ashamed and embarrassed. And she did not want to talk to anybody because she felt that it would shame the family and that it would ruin the dynamic in the household. Okay, and I get it, you know. And let me say this, you know, let me get serious with you guys for a minute when I say that African-American families, we have been trained to keep what's on the inside, okay? I know I was, right? But now that my sister has had my nephew, we do things a little different, right? We have even trained our nephew that if somebody touches him, we don't care who it is. If mommy touches you, then you tell auntie. If auntie touches you, then you tell mommy. That's a way that we can ensure that even if my nephew trusts the person, you still need to tell, okay? So that's how we are trying to combat, bad behavior or poor behavior with children, okay? And I would implore you all to do the same. Explain to your child, no matter who it is, if somebody touches you, you must tell. Even me, baby. If you feel like I touch you wrong, tell auntie or tell daddy or tell cousin da-da-da. We must start the change. Patti said that vocally, she admired Nina Simone, James Moody, and Gloria Lynn. She said at a very young age, she knew that she could sing, but wasn't going to let anybody else know that she could sing, okay? Until one of her Judy's mother had called her to the choir, okay? One day at rehearsal, the choir director said, and that's her Judy's mother, the choir director, said, who's going to sing lead? Young Patsy said, can I try? Hell yeah, you could try. Come on here, Patsy. Let's do it. And oh boy, did she turn it out. Her husband or her ex-husband Armstead remembers Patti Labelle singing and the reaction when he looked out into the audience. He said that they all were enthralled. I could believe it, because that's a big mouth baby, you know? And I have always said that the only person in my mind that could touch a Patti Labelle would be that damn big mouth Fantasia. Kenny Gamble provides commentary to confirm what Patti's ex-husband said, where he was saying that people in the neighborhood knew about young Patti. They knew that she was a force to be reckoned with vocally. Okay. You know, Kenny Gamble chimes in and says that in those days there were no vehicles for black children to nurture their talent, okay? But what did happen was that Patti joined the choir at her high school, okay? And now the teachers know about her capabilities and they are pushing her to try to explore her dreams as a singer. Now, at this point, Patti is now singing around Philadelphia with 3 other women. Sarah Dash, ooh, I'm gonna tell y'all about that damn Sarah Dash. Ooh, isn't it a shame? Nona Hendrix, oh my God. Now, for years, I thought that she was related to Jimi Hendrix, but answer no. Well, she said that she's a distant relative of Jimi Hendrix, but I thought that was like Jimi Hendrix's daughter or something, you know. Anyway, and Cindy Birdsong, that eventually became a Supremes, and they were called the Bluebells. Now, the Bluebells went to a recording studio owned by this man called Harold Robinson, okay? Robinson was to produce or do whatever it was to the song that they were going to make or whatever it was. I can't tell you exactly because I don't understand all that radio music stuff, right? But when he saw Patti Labelle, he said, answer no, because you are too black and ugly. How dare you? How dare you, white man? So then, you know, luckily the manager, you know, comes in, time out, okay? Before you call my artist black and ugly, which he already did, okay, he said, why don't you listen to the girls sing? He listened to the girls sing and he loved it. So now that he done fell in love with the group, right? You know, he like, okay, I love the group now. You know, I'm like, well, nigga, did you forget that she was black and ugly a minute ago? But anyway, how he tried to clean it up because now he in love with the Patti Labelle, okay? So he said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this group Patti Labelle, which means the beautiful and the Bluebells, because, you know, they can't keep the Bluebells, just the Bluebells, because over yonder, there's another group called Bluebells. All right, so he had to change it up a little bit. Plus, he kind of, I guess that was his way of apologizing for calling Patti black and ugly. Next, Patti Labelle and the Bluebells are now singing this song called I Gave My Heart to the Junk Man. You gave your heart to the junk man. The only junk man that I would give my heart to was that goddamn James Earl Jones. In Claudine. Oh, I know he had taco meat all over his chest. Oh my God, his chest was so beady. I wouldn't have cared. It was James Earl and the Jones, girl. If he would have made me a bath, I wouldn't have gave hell of how many goddamn mices that was running around there. I wouldn't have given two freak. I would have let James Earl Jones take me down. You hear me? Take me down. Now, Patti Labelle discusses her time at the Apollo and how tough the crowd was. We all know that. We all know that them people down at the Apollo can act like some ninjas, okay? But don't forget from the story that I told about Luther Vandross, that Luther Vandross was working with the people who managed the Apollo Theater, okay? And ironically enough, Luther Vandross, who chimes in also with his commentary, he said that Patti Labelle and the Bluebells sang at the Apollo quite often. Luther Vandross said that he adored the group, and as a result, he recruited friends and created a fan club for the group. Patti Labelle says that Luther was their very first president of their fan club at 16 years old. You know what I'm starting to see about these diva bitches? They are real. These diva women are very, very petty. Okay. Diana Ross was looking for a new Supreme, okay? And remember I told you that it was Nona, Sir, Cindy, and Patti. Diana Ross said, Cindy, you, I want you. Now, Sir, my boo. Y'all, listen. Sir, I didn't realize how sexy that group was. Now, they didn't get super sexy to me until later on. But that damn Sir, she got that about her. She a Leo. Love her. Patti was a Gemini, or is a Gemini. Nona is a Libra. And Sarah is a Leo. That's a great combination. Those three can all work together very well. Sarah said, you know, to me, it didn't bother me that that bitch left. Okay? Because for real, Nona had the low voice. Patti did what she did. And I had the soprano. Oh my gosh, when I heard her sing, by herself, And she's sexy as a I was like, Joe, oh my God, I love this lady. I love this lady. Y'all, guess what? So what happened was, when I was doing research, right, I said, you know what, let me find her on Instagram, right? Okay, so she's like 75 now, right? So I found her on Instagram and I started following her. Child, why she followed me back? Man, that lady don't even know. I'm about to start asking her to send me pictures. Right. Sir continued to say that Patti was very upset when Cindy left. Probably because Patti got it in her mind that that damn Diana Ross is a snake. Okay, and she tired of that hussy. Okay, you gonna steal our outfit, then you gonna turn around and steal my Cindy? Like Sarah said, okay, okay, we lost her, but the bitch wasn't doing much of anything vocally anyway. This is what I didn't know. Okay, now we move on, and Patti says that she was very interested in Otis Williams of the Temptations. She says she met him through her husband or her ex-husband, Armstead Edwards. Okay, Otis told her once they got married that she was going to have to quit singing and become my housewife and live with me in Detroit and not do shit. Patti said, "Oh no, that's not my life. You want too much of me, Mr. Otis." Armstead Edwards, her ex-husband, pursued her and wooed her. Okay, the way I see it, he's saying to himself, well, she wasn't looking for me or checking for me, so let me introduce him to Otis. Okay, Otis failed, so let me grab my shot. Okay, and he made it. Her ex-husband says that the early years of their marriage with the Bluebells were very hard. They were struggling to obtain a hit. Okay, now then they went to England and met Vicky Whitcomb, who gave the group a complete makeover, and they are now called Labelle. Ooh, voulez coucou say à l'espoir, c'est quoi? Now here comes the pregnancy, right? She said that the girls were very disappointed in her that she got pregnant, and she felt like they was looking at her like, so what you gonna do? Patti answer no, I'm not about to get rid of my baby, and I'm not about to stop singing either. So there she is performing in 4-inch heels, giving the best that she got. Man, Labelle is sexy as 29 years old. She gave birth to her son Zuri. She said that it was the proudest moment of her life. Patti Labelle says that she was very, very lucky to have a husband who was in place to act as the mother and the father to young Zizi. Now here comes the spacesuits and Lady Marmalade. Now this is what she said. She said that she was in a lot of debt. All the girls were in a lot of debt. And what happened was Lady Marmalade put them right back at square one. Labelle was the first black group that played the Metropolitan Opera House. It was history. But soon the women wanted different goals, okay? Patti said she wanted to do ballads. Sir wanted to move on to disco. And Nona wanted to do rock. Okay? Patti recalls it being a bitter breakup. She felt at the time that she would be called the reason as to why they broke up, because the lead singer is always the fall guy. I would agree. I mean, yeah, we all was hurt when Destiny Child broke up. We was like, damn, Beyonce. So out of the three, Patti was the first to have a solo album. Luther says that as the fan club president, we love Sarah and Nona, but our eyes continued to watch Patti. Now, the music director for Labelle continued to work with Patti Labelle as her music director. And he, the music director, and her husband or ex-husband, Armstead, created You Are My Friend. I see the world with brand new eyes. Your love has made me realize the future is bright to me. You are my friend. Now, her friend, Gamble, is at CBS, and he overhears the execs saying that they're not happy with Patti Labelle's volume in regards to sale, okay? So her longtime friend says, hey, executives, let me have her, okay? And let me see what I can do with her. Now Patti is on Philly International, okay? Kenny Gamble said that the first thing that he wanted to do with her was to tone down her voice and keep her in her mid-range, okay? And If Only You Knew was her first #1 song recorded as a solo artist. You know that. When I get up the nerve to tell you the words, just never seem to come out right. She had 4 albums that only had moderate success. Her husband says that they had to do something that would draw the public's attention. Then here comes the bucket hair hat, okay? One of her Judies, who is her longtime hairdresser, said, "What you want to do today, Patti?" Patti said, "I don't know. Let's just do something extra." All right. And extra was the bucket hair. I was lost about it, but at that time, around the 80s, you know, I don't know why, but we had very hard hair. I don't know why. So I guess it was just a sign of the times. Now we got Patti Labelle kicking off her shoes and rolling around on the floor. It's just a part of her shenanigans. That is just a part of her show. We are at the Motown Return show, right? All the Greats is on Love. Now, Diana Ross is supposed to be the lead of this song, okay, while All the Greats is on the, you know, stage or whatever, right? Answer no. Patti Labelle said, "I didn't take over the finale. I didn't steal anything from Diana. I was just being me." Patti, you can stop the bullshit. Okay. So because you stole her gold lame dress idea and Cindy Bird's song, she stole the finale. Now, according to the Patti said, "I didn't steal anything. I was simply singing. I know goddamn well that you knew that was Diana Ross supposed to be taking lead. Okay? That's not right. You wasn't supposed to do that. But I understand, Patti. I understand." At about 50 years old, Patti Labelle lost her sisters and her parents, but she continued to sing through her pain. In fact, right after the death of one of her sisters, she was scheduled to do If You Ask Me To video. Anyway, like I was saying, the video was scheduled for her to do the song If You Ask Me To, okay? The video people was willing to cancel the video shoot. Patti said no. Then comes Patti's 2 adopted sons, Dodd and Stan. They said that when their biological parents passed, Patti Labelle stepped in. I could definitely see that. A little known fact, y'all, okay? So this interview was from 2001, okay? And according to Patti and her children, Patti Labelle had never driven a car and had no desire to drive a car. My grandmother didn't drive. I have a cousin that never drove. I have an auntie, well, she just passed, that never drove. But for the same reasons that they didn't want to drive, Patti Labelle said, period, point blank, "I don't want to hurt nobody." I can respect it. If you feel that way about your driving, then stay the frig off the road. Now we continue on to talk about Patti Labelle's cooking, okay? She said that that's what makes her happiest, okay? Jasmine Guy from A Different World says that she remember that when Patti Labelle was on set, remember Patti Labelle's character was Dwayne Wade's, Kadeem Hardison's mother. And whenever she was on the show, she would bring real down-home meals, you know? Now, Patti Labelle said, "I had to cook for them because all the children on the show was underweight." Here we are on my own. Hey, once again now, one more time by myself. Ooh, I loved it. So now she speaks of her divorce to her husband. She says for the last 15 years of her marriage, she felt unhappy, but she stayed there because she didn't want to disappoint her son or let the public know that she was unhappy. This is where I want to add a little piece, right? And she said right around this time with menopause, she just got extremely annoyed with her everything, okay, including her husband, right? And she didn't understand why at first. And what she said in this interview that I heard years and years ago, I want to say that it was in like the 90s. She actually said, or maybe the early 2000s, something like that. But she actually said that she didn't understand menopause. And menopause was the reason as to why she had divorced her husband. Okay. If she would have known it then maybe, you know, there could have been medicines that she could have taken that may have intervened in regards to her divorce, right? But she's free and she loves her freedom, okay? And her family says that she's much happier now. Overall, she was in a happy place. And this was in 2001. Now, since then, we know that Patti Labelle's brand has branched out to cooking, okay? And like many people, they love to cook. That's what makes them feel happy, to see their family enjoy what they made out of love, okay? Now, I ain't never had no patty pies, okay? I don't think I need to have a patty pie because I got my own mother-in-law who be cooking sweet potato pies, okay? Maybe I'll try it. Have you guys ever tried a Patti Labelle pie? And tell me what your favorite Patti Labelle song is. Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, and subscribe because it is so important to our success here on the YouTube. Now, remember this. The same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves, my bellas, my love bugs. Babies, have a good one.